This was an episode of Newsnight in which they were discussing the congressional hearings into Donald Trump's role in the January 6th riots.
We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
And the footage then cuts immediately to scenes of people fighting.
And it cuts seamlessly, so it does make it seem as if Fight Like Hell came immediately after the initial statement,
Yes.
when in fact it came 54 minutes later in that particular speech. Kirsty Walk then brings in two contributors to react to the footage and to speak about the whole story. One of them is Kadia Gober. She's a politics reporter for BuzzFeed. She was on the ground at the time of the Capitol riots that day. And then they also speak to Mick Mulvaney, who was Donald Trump's chief of staff from 2019 to 2020.
Your video, and I'm no apologist for the president on this.
No, I'm not suggesting you are. I'm not suggesting you are, but what I'm saying is that
your video actually spliced together the presentation. He said, we're going to go down and we're going to cheer on our senators and our House members. And then it actually goes on to say, in some of them we might not be able to. And that line about it, we fight and fight like hell, is actually later in the speech, and yet your video makes it look like those two things came together. That's the type of messaging here that so many people in my country find frustrating, is that it's hard to actually get the facts.
Now, crucially, what also makes this worse, Tim, is that we have spoken to a whistleblower who worked on Newsnight at the time that recalled this. We spoke to David Chaudhry during the week to find out what happened the following day when he attended, along with others, an editorial meeting.
Then in the editorial the next day, one producer said, how did that go out? Why did that happen? And the editorial editor, not the VT editor, kind of brushed it off. And I thought that was extraordinary that something like that had gone out, but it was the BBC, and when you're in that milieu, you kind of don't question things. I'm just there for the graphics. That's what I do. They don't really listen to you.